The great modernist poet T.S. Eliot was all of 27 when the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock was published. The poem's title alone suggests what is to be a lifelong and central contradiction in Eliot's verse: the coexistence of the lyrical with the prosaic, the sublime with the banal. A song of love declared by someone whose very name, J. Alfred Prufrock, sounds as prosaic and as lackluster as that of a bank or a publishing house executive. Yet that is exactly the paradox here. The inadequacies of a poet forging his images in his rarefied submarine universe, who must now and then surface, and with catastrophic results, as when he tries to fulfill his obligations to a society he finds all too conventional, insufferable, suffocating. The poet's delicate idealism clashes relentlessly with the vulgar demands of parlor-room courtship and its tedious rituals and accessories. Being the poet that he is, he cannot impress. And should he try, he is doomed to fail. His real love will always be his muse, at the ocean's depths, beckoning toward him as mermaids of the imagination. Lovely, inaccessible creatures with seaweed in their hair. Certainly not the pseudo-intellectual women who come and go talking of Michelangelo. The poet's fear, oddly enough, is the fear of growing old. At the age of 27, such morbid ruminations at such an age may be laughable, but not for Eliot, who may not have been old in years, but beyond his years in wisdom, knowing he was destined to live life not as an actor, but as an observer. A frightening prospect, to be condemned to view life from the sidelines, as it were, spend his days lingering in a sea of words and malingering in life, and rather badly at that. There would never be any chance of real intimacy, never any real love to sing about. The disconnect must have appeared painful, if not altogether obvious, to the young poet. The mechanism of such disconnect would rest in the poetic process itself. And insofar as Eliot was concerned, living the process would always consume his full attention. The promise of genuine relationships are nothing more than pesky distractions. Each time he comes close to try and engage life, it is always with awkward reluctance, the experience always disillusioning. And the disillusionment, instead of liberating the poet from his illusions, only fuels them time and time again in bitter disappointment. After all, he is no great prophet, nor would he need to be a lover. If he is not a lover, in the love song, then what exactly is he? A casual observer? A peeping Tom? Eliot? Still, the question to engage life on its own terms haunts him with insistent refrain. Would it be worth it after all? What would be worth what? Would it be worthwhile to live a life in which he is neither prophet nor Prince Hamlet? Would it be worth his while to have taken the great gamble on life itself, only to emerge as a pedantic, meticulous, even ridiculous poet? In short, a fool. A fool who has succeeded in fooling himself by betraying life, sacrificing his real life moments to the siren call of his art. In the afternoon, the evening sleeps so peacefully, smoothed by long fingers, asleep, tired, or it malingers. Stretched on the floor here beside you and me, should I, after tea and cakes and ices, have the strength to force the moment to its crisis? But though I have wept and fasted, wept and prayed, though I have seen my head grown slightly bald, brought in upon a platter, I'm no prophet, and here's no great matter. I have seen the moment of my greatness flicker, and I have seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker, and in short, I was afraid. And would it have been worth it after all, after the cups, the marmalade, the tea, among the porcelain, among some talk of you and me? Would it have been worthwhile to have bitten off the matter with a smile, to have squeezed the universe into a ball, to roll it towards some overwhelming question, to say, I am Lazarus come from the dead, come back to tell you all, I shall tell you all, if one settling a pillow by her head should say, that is not what I meant at all, that is not it at all. And would it have been worth it after all? Would it have been worthwhile after the sunsets and the dooryards and the sprinkled streets, after the novels, after the teacups, after the skirts that trail along the floor, and this and so much more? It is impossible to say just what I mean, but as if a magic lantern threw the nerves and patterns on a screen, would it have been worthwhile if one settling a pillow or throwing off a shawl and turning toward the window should say, that is not it at all, that is not what I meant at all? No, I am not Prince Hamlet, nor was meant to be. Am an attendant lord, one that will do to swell a progress, start a scene or two, advise the prince, no doubt an easy tool, deferential, glad to be of use, politic, cautious, and meticulous, full of high sentence but a bit obtuse, at times indeed almost ridiculous, almost at times the fool. I grow old, I grow old. I shall wear the bottoms of my trousers rolled. Shall I part my hair behind? Do I dare to eat a peach? I shall hear white flannel trousers and walk upon the beach. I've heard the mermaids singing each to each. I do not think that they will sing to me. I've seen them riding seaward on the waves, combing the white hair of the waves blown back, when the wind blows the water white and black. We have lingered in the chambers of the sea by sea-girls wreathed with seaweed red and brown till human voices wake us and we drown.